David Benavidez has positioned himself in boxing to be one of the most prominent warriors in the sport. And recently, he came out with an admission that what is something that assisted him in his rise, something that many fighters of today don't even bother to take the time out to do, but it's an acknowledgement for him where he may find himself going in the sport. And it's also about class. Let's talk about this for a moment and David Benavidez. One of the things that I like to observe when I'm evaluating fighters is where they happen to come from the area of character. And when you think about David Benavidez, another fighter who has been brought up through the sport with his brother and his dad, character is something that has really played a prominent role in his successes, his failures and setbacks, and his overcoming. And recently, he gave credit to that when he spoke about his relationship with Gennady Golovkin, and Golovkin bringing him along in the sport as he started out a sparring partner to Gennady Golovkin. And it's what David had to say about Golovkin that makes me make this video of acknowledgement for him. Take a listen to what David had to say about Gennady.
Honestly, I give Gennady Golovkin all the credit he deserves because he's the reason why I'm the fighter I am today. Because when I was sparring him in there, those were not sparring sessions, they were real fights. And he'd push me to the level, so I'd have to find different ways to block, to get out the way because, he was punching with everything. So he made me learn more and push my IQ up, just to be in there with him, what I mean? And I learned a lot with him. So yeah, I give him all the credit. I'm the fighter I am today because of those sparring sessions I had with him. I sparred him from 15 till 19 years old. The last time I sparred him is when he fought Daniel Jacobs. So I learned a lot from that guy. So, hats off to Gennady Golovkin. He's a great man. He's a great champion in and outside the ring. And, I owe him a lot. Honestly, I give Gennady Golovkin all the...
You see, when someone can say that another person gave them assistance, it's an acknowledgement, but it's also a means of coming to grips with, you don't make it here on your own, but you always leave here on your own. So it is important that whatever you're able to pick up on your journey, whatever you're able to dish out on your journey, share on your journey, partake in with others, as well as be reflective and appreciative. That will take you a long way. And so when you think about Benavidez, who's presently the WBC light heavyweight titleist, he's 31-0 with 25 KOs. He's now 29 years of age. The Mexican Monster is what they refer to him as. His most recent fight was his November 22nd, 2025 victory over Anthony Yard. where they highlighted a card in Riyadh season, Saudi Arabia. Benavidez had a 7th round stoppage over Anthony Yarde and has now set his sights on possibly moving up to cruiserweight, where he feels he'll have an opportunity against some of the top fighters at that weight class. Guys like, Chris Billum-Smith and Zurdo Ramirez, maybe even Jai Opataya. Who knows? A lot of people don't want to see Jai though. But Benavidez is a fighter who, in his endeavors, have taken everything that Gennady Golovkin allowed him to learn and share and placed it into his own box of tools to use in the sport. And he has used them well, so much to the degree that a fighter like Saul Canelo Alvarez sidestepped him for a number of years when they were both competing at 168, forcing Benavidez to move on up to 175 when he actually finally realized that Canelo's not going to give him that shot at passing the baton as the most prominent Mexican fighter in the sport. But it's okay, because what he has managed to do is carve out his own place in the sport. A 2-time champion at 168 and now a champion at 175, seeking still to possibly do something at cruiserweight. He has shown that he's not willing to just sit, pat, and rest on his laurels. He's constantly looking to be better and achieve more. You have to respect that from a fighter, especially in the climate of today where many are not looking to place themselves in such a position. So when he acknowledged what Gennady Golovkin had done for him, it was a stand-up moment for him. And though many people haven't talked about it, it's something that other people can learn from. Because if you listen to a lot of these fighters of today, their rhetoric is all about selfishness and what they have accomplished and what they have achieved on their own. Oh yeah, if they have a humbling moment, they'll maybe take time out and acknowledge someone else. But it's very hard to do when you're successful, you have no losses, and you're constantly achieving and ascending. But on the way, along that path, you can still acknowledge who gave you an opportunity. So I salute David Benavidez, and I will watch with heightened excitement for what he looks to do in the ensuing time that he spends in the sport. He's a hell of a fighter, and he takes on hella challenges, whether they want to see him or not. Salute to this young man. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about David Benavidez and what he had to say about Gennady Golovkin and giving him the opportunity to become the fighter that he is today. Leave comments and let's discuss further. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.